What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy, and welcome back to another Game Week preview. This is Game Week 4. The international break is finally over. I know it was entertaining. England, best performance I've seen in a while. Well, it's better than Iceland because we won, but that's about it. And today I've got Game Week 4 preview. And cut jibber jabber, it's the fourth time trying to record this because of noise outside. Now I've closed the window, so I'm going to boil my stealth in a hot pot. Let's start off with my games to watch. And we're starting off with Manchester United versus Manchester City, the big derby. And I'm going to be honest, I can see this being a draw. A 0-0 or a 1-1. Both of these teams are not going to want to lose their unbeaten record, their 100% record to the rivals from just down the street. It is a no go, especially with Guardiola versus Pep. It's going to be a massive battle, but I see that ending a draw because neither team is going to want to lose their unbeaten record to the other rival. It's a bad thing to think about. And you got Arsenal versus Southampton. Can Arsenal maybe continue their rise up the table? They had a good win against Watford to the end of the first part of the season. They're now back for part number 2. Small little mini parts, don't know why I said that. And they're facing up against Southampton, who haven't really hit the ground running yet, but you know it's going to come in the end. But I feel like Arsenal will take that one. And you got Burnley versus Hull, a game where you would have thought 0 points versus 0 points. That's what a lot of people were saying. But Hull, or almost at the top come almost at, top 4 come the end of the transfer window, but it wasn't to be. And Burnley have started well as well. Only 1 win from 3 though. How can I see this one going? Edging towards a Burnley win. And now Liverpool versus Leicester. Goals galore. Let's move on to goalkeepers. Only 3 for you today because I want to reiterate the fact, although a lot of people have said keep it with the maximum amount of players each week, I'm not going to chuck out a load of players when I don't feel like they're going to do well. I've only got 3 because I've only found 3 that I really think are going to do well. I've spent a lot of time deliberating, but these are my only 3. Starting off, we've got Ben Foster of West Bromwich Albion, valued at £4.6 million. And how do I see this one going? Well, West Brom have a game against Bournemouth, away, albeit. And they're against some tough opposition. Loic Remy and Christian Benteke are 2 good signings. They're held on to Zaha. That could be a big plus for them. But I feel like West Brom, they're going to do a lot better than last season. Clean sheet wise, I feel like they've already got 2. I feel like it could be 3. Well, Bournemouth haven't been good this season, and I feel like they'll have another loss on their cards this time, with Foster, governing quite a few saves, I think, with Remy and co against them. He's going to have quite a job on his hands. Then we've got Petr Cech. Arsenal versus Southampton. I do think Arsenal are going to grab a clean sheet in that. They've upgraded their defence, their attack. They're everywhere this window, and for good reasons. And I feel like Cech's going to get a clean sheet here. And Stekelenburg is my final one of Everton, valued at £5 million. He's got a nice Monday night football game against Sunderland. And how do I see this one going? It's going to be a tough game. Sunderland are always tough to play against, but Stekelenburg, I think, has got in him, even if they do get the chances to make the saves. And I feel like it's going to be a clean sheet for him. On to the defenders. And we start off for Everton like we left off the goalkeepers of Everton in Seamus Coleman, £5.4 million. And I think that looks good, providing he plays. He has currently got a knock. He hasn't played in the first Republic of Ireland game. I don't know if he's selected, but I don't know if he's going to play in the second one either, or make an appearance off the bench. I don't know. But Coleman, £5.4 million. I feel like it could be really interesting if he does play. It could be Coleman's defence. 100% defence is back. You've got Coleman on the right, you've got Baines on the left, and you've got Funes Mori, Williams, and Jagielka in the centre. Really solid looking, and I feel like they'll get a clean sheet if he plays. If he doesn't, then I do apologise. I'm just putting it out there now. We've got Walker at £5.6 million for Spurs. He did have illness, but I always know he was selected for England, so he's definitely going to be playing unless another injury comes for him this weekend. But Spurs, they've got a nice game against Stoke. Stoke haven't started well, so I feel like a clean sheet, maybe a few assists as well, even a goal maybe for Walker this week. Could be a good high-scoring week for him. Then we've got Johnny Evans. Now, I would put Neon, but I don't know whether Neon's going to play over Dawson, and Macaulay is for 4.7, and the only reason Macaulay is valued up with 4.7, up another 2, is because he scored a goal. That's it. You put the 2 clean sheet games next to Evans, and you've got exactly the same points from them two. The only difference is that Macaulay grabbed a goal. That's the only point difference they've got, and that's why I'm putting Evans there, because I think he will be there, centre back for the season. He's a good centre back, and 4.5 million could be a real cheap price for him. Then we've got Azpilicueta of Chelsea. Yes, they signed Alonso. Yes, they signed David Luiz, but I think Alonso, a bit like Baba Rahman, he's not going to have much of a longevity stay at Chelsea. And if he does get a left back spot, Who's going to move to right back? Most probably Azpilicueta. He's a right-footed player. He is preliminary right back, moved into left back and done it well. But I feel like Azpilicueta, £6 million is definitely the best choice. Out of a Chelsea defence that plays away against Swansea, I can see that being a clean sheet for him. And lastly, Koscielny. Same reasons I said with Czech. I feel like it's going to be a clean sheet for Arsenal. Let's move on to midfielders. So midfielders, we've got six. We've got 6 midfielders and 6 strikers. First of all, Eric Lamela, £7.1 million from Spurs. Now, you know, Moussa Sissoko signed, Ali hasn't been in form, Cannon's been in form, Lamela's the only one that's been in constant form, although Sissoko played right side of midfield for Newcastle a lot of the time last season. He can play central or he can play in next to someone, and they're missing Dembele. Darren Wanyama, they've done alright, but I feel like Sissoko could sit in there, could go further forward. Lamela could switch to the other side or could go in the centre, who knows. But I feel like Lamela is the one, you know, he's not going to get dropped and he's been in good form. I think that could be set to continue. Like I say, Spurs against Stoke. Stoke haven't started well, conceded 6 goals so far this season, and I feel like another few more against Spurs will happen. Then we've got Chadley, ex-Spurs player joining West Brom, and I feel like if someone's going to have a bit of magic to break the deadlock against Bournemouth, Chadley could be the man for it. £6.4 million, he's gone down in price, so could be a bit of a bargain there. Payet at £9.4 million. West Ham have a nice game against Watford. Watford have conceded goals in all of their 3 games so far, and Payet coming back means, you know, he could be back in with the goals, and West Ham could finally start playing like the West Ham last season, which ironically they only played like the West Ham last season when Payet played. When he didn't play, non-existent. But we move on to Mane, 8.9 million. Somehow Mane had a pretty decent start FPL terms. Gone down to 8.9 million. I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but don't quote me this. For some reason, I feel like he's not going to play, or he might be injured, but it's not saying on the FPL website. But Liverpool have a nice game against Leicester, and Mane could be the one to break the deadlock. You know, Liverpool's attack is deadly, and when it's effective, it's definitely effective. But he's only been effective in 1 game so far. But I feel like if anyone's going to break down the Leicester defence, it could be Mane. Sanchez at £11 million. It was choice between him or Özil really, but Sanchez is in there because he's bound to go up even after this game week, after his good score. If he gets an assist or a goal, he's going to go up another 2 maybe, I'm not sure. But £11 million, yes, it's a bit expensive, but he's going to be a one to watch for this season. He's fit, hopefully throughout the whole season. If he is, we'll see a Sanchez point score we haven't seen before, skyrocketing above the others. And lastly, Eden Hazard, because he is having quite a good season so far, and it's against Swansea, who haven't had the best of starts. I've had an okay start, but not the best of starts. Could be better. And Hazard is definitely one that could break down Swansea and grab a few bonus points along the way. Let's get on, finally, with the attackers. I do this every week. I somehow leave myself with no time for the attackers. We're going to try and go through them quickly. First of all, Vardy at £9.9 million. He scored, finally, game week 3, but it hasn't gone up in price rise, which is good for everyone else. Leicester have a game against Liverpool, who like to concede goals, might I add. So Vardy plus a team likes conceding goals equals possibly another goal for Vardy. Who knows? Then we've got Rondon at £6.5 million. He's got a nice game against Bournemouth. And I feel like they definitely could, you know, shake up the Bournemouth defence. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He's one to watch for the future. Then we've got Lukaku, valued at £9 million, I believe. Hasn't gone down yet. And he's got a nice Monday night game against Sunderland. Now, Sunderland, I feel like it could be fighting relegation. Moyes has already admitted that after like game week 2, I believe. And Lukaku hasn't netted yet, but I feel like he'll have a good chance here, and he'll be finally up to maybe full fitness, and he's blamed that on the reason he hasn't scored. So yeah, looking good for Lukaku. Kane, big risk, but to go off it shortly, I feel like he could have a good game. Last time playing against Stoke, he scored 2 goals. Another 2 again would delight a lot of people. Then we've got Negredo. Yes, he's gone up by 4. By 4. It's an insane amount, but he's a man in form. And you look at who Middlesbrough are playing, you can see why. And finally, we've got Costa. Again, Costa's looked good. Has had something to play in something to give in every single game, and I feel like he's definitely going to have a good game against Swansea. And that being said, guys, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I don't know if you like, comment, subscribe. How can I improve? And what players are you looking at that could be high scorers in this coming game week? Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and have a good game week. Peace.